I guess we'll go ahead and make a motion on the minutes from our May 17th. Seems like forever since we've had.
I know. I'll make a motion for the May 17th, 2021 minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Claims 1 through 198 in the amount of $460,000, 114 and 45 cents. The unpublished payroll claims.
I'll make that motion.
And I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Did you get a chance to review and acknowledge the treasurer's report, the monthly comparison report?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. March report of collections for the ambulance clerk, health, and prosecutor.
I'll make the motion to accept.
Okay,
And I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Paula.
I'm up.
You're up. Are you ready?
She was-
Okay. So first thing is for SPRF, Kent had sent an email to you guys in regards to the precinct. The whole purpose of it again is for standardizing to prevent confusion with when the legislature goes to draw new congressional and state legislative district lines later this year. So just to make sure everything's the same, and I will need it signed so I can submit it to the Indiana Election Division.
I'll make a motion to accept that motion.
And I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
And the other
So
thing
did, oh,
go ahead, Greg.
did you where did you figure out whether Mill Creek was one word or?
I made it one word.
Okay, okay.
And it just took with the information that I had and different maps and things. And,
Just one, I knew you were questioning.
so, yeah, because I did the research and
Yeah.
Charles listed there as how will be in the system for purposes of township precincts,
Okay.
for the mapping purposes for districts. Any
Good.
other questions in regards to that?
Nope.
Okay. Constitution classes, I did speak with the judge and she gave me her permission as well, blessing to use the courtroom for Constitution classes. So I will be using the courtroom beginning July 15th, which is a Thursday. And it'll be every Thursday for 6 weeks, from 6 to at least, I would say 8 o'clock. I spoke with the sheriff and he stated that he will make sure that there is somebody here during that time as well. And I'm excited about it. And for more
Great.
information, you can go to patriotacademy.com and look up classes, and they will be listed on there, and I will be listed as the constitutional coach for that time period, and it will be a 6-week course. I spoke with Brandon Ricketts in regards to outlets in my office. And he got me a quote so that I can rearrange my office and my back event to the public when they come in.
I know there's
We-
been some
we-
discussion that there's several offices, I think electrical needs to be
It does, and there's a tripping hazard amount, so there's that electrical strip that goes across there and it'll eliminate that too. And so, my office will be closed on June 17th which is a week from the Thursday for conference, for training, taking my staff with me. And if I can get Brandon to do it that day when nobody's in my office, if that works, if that's acceptable. Okay, good.
I'll make a motion to approve the Ricketts Electric estimate for $1,375 to add the quad receptacle boxes and polytron.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Rio.
That's all I have. You guys got anything else for me? Any questions?
Don't, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanner, I'll be calling you. She just called me.
Oh, God, what happened? Up the road.
Yeah.
That is so confusing.
Um, My mind is blank.
You do have some capital outlays and some other funds that maybe you could possibly put on, checking that and then you can ask on the council.
The Gibson Teledata shows Amanda's, what's this upgrading, correct? Software.
Yeah. It's just the phones are here in jail.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Rio. Ambulance, you know, I talked to Garth the other day about, in the past, he had purchased those Clorox antibacterial wipes, and he paid for it out of the COVID line item, just to free up his ambulance budget. I don't have a problem with continuing that. I think I'll get with, probably just see what kind of balance we have in there. Because for budget purposes, I'll kind of be roughly what, for next year, so I can keep that. Okay. So anyway, if you guys are in favor of that, I need a motion to let him
I'll make a motion to approve.
$358.80.
Yep.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And now we're ready for the additional appropriations request. In the past, usually when you would sell pipes or something, you could just put it back into the line item. Evidently, that's changed, and so we have to go through the additional appropriation process to do that. So the 18,500 that was sold at the auction, he's wanting it back into his line item for equipment so that he can put it towards,
And that is the net amount.
yes. That's the net amount.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
And I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. 911 overtime out of the 911 statewide fund, $30,000.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Ambulance, county general, vacation and sick.
Garth has changed those.
Yes.
Yeah.
40,000 and then
Because, yeah,
30,000 for the medical supplies.
Okay.
and I say I talked to him and he changed them at my request.
I would say that makes me feel better too, because I was gonna ask you to
Yes.
change them anyway, so.
Yeah, and I did talk to him as well, and I think it was an agreement, while you're doing it, save
Do it.
on advertising.
Right.
And.
If you don't spend it, you don't
we've
spend
never-
it.
Yeah, we've never really had problems with him overspending in his department, so I didn't have a problem with that either.
So I'll make a motion for
The
40,000 for vacation and sick and 30,000 for supplies.
For a total of 70,000. And I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Transfer of funds, $300 from website to economic development to cover invoice for the Warren County Local Economic Development Organization, which I think we all got that information. Dudley did as well. And I think, was all in agreement. We didn't know what the costs were gonna be at the time to budget it. So I think looking forward, we should know better, what we need to budget for next year. Per emails with Brent
Right.
and Dudley, and I think you guys as well. And I didn't forward those on to Colleen.
My question is, are we going to have any other expenses? Because we're pretty much tapped out on this line.
We might reach out to Brent. I'm not sure if he's got anything else coming up, but
You never, I don't know what can be spent out of that, Colleen, I guess. Can
Well,
we
right
do
now,
mileage
it's
or if the, you know.
The economic development lanes mainly for our dues, which these two.
Oh, okay.
And the one
Yeah.
was higher than what we had
Well-
budgeted the first time, so I transferred money.
Right.
We got more counties. I'm just asking if there's anything else coming down the pipe, because if so, I may have to ask for an additional. And I have some for the next meeting also.
have you sent it to the newspaper yet?
No, I have not.
We-
Are you gonna be doing that tomorrow?
I've already sent part of them that we approved at the last meeting, but these still have to go.
Okay.
Why don't we just put some money in there just, I don't know, just in case? The only thing I know coming up is this Indiana Technological Corridor Partnership Agreement, and it said it didn't cost anything to join with the city of Lafayette, West Lafayette, and 9 other counties. That was free.
Travel, which we did agree to pay for his travel. and
Right.
Yeah.
everything. So do you think? I was thinking more $1,000 to, what do you
Yeah.
think, 1,000 for, just because we don't know, and if that's
At
not enough,
least.
I would think it'd be
Yeah.
fine.
And for what he does, I don't think anybody truly understands.
He puts a lot of time.
And when I went to those meetings, every county has an economic development person. They're paying them $50, $60, $70, $80,000.
And
He's doing it free. So he's worth every penny of it. And he represents us well.
So, will one of you make a motion to do additional appropriation for $1,000 for travel? That we want?
Yeah, or just the economic development.
Economic development.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
For you? I know he's been very good about reaching out to his commissioners and Dudley, just to let them know, what's going on and, things, coming up that would possibly be interested in ourselves. Transfer funds, county general. Okay. $1,000.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
All second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
List to transfer funds, so $23,526.36 from the COVID-19 overtime. And we'll receive that into 1159, so that's basically our 2/3 portion. And then she'll be billing Warren County the 11,761.41, and that will get received into 1159 too, so that negative line item.
I'll make a motion.
All second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There you go. We have an appointment for the Kingman Mill Creek Public Library, Mike Parrott, for the term of 4 years. So is this a new one now?
Yeah, it actually should have been done last year, but due to COVID, they spaced it, so they're making up for that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on these ordinances, Ethan, do you want to introduce these, or would you prefer one of us introducing these ordinances that are coming up? The right way?
I don't have a problem doing that. I only have one copy, so if I need to go make more and pass it on, I can. The first one,
I think I have all of those here.
I'll start with the 2021-6. I guess I can pass mine around, but it's got my notes scribbled on
I
it.
don't have, feel free to, mine are not numbered, I just have them in order, but they're in the agenda. And feel free
Yeah,
feel
this
free to
one's-
write them out there.
The right of way. I got mine. You guys all need a copy, or it sounds like you have one? We got one?
Yeah, they were emailed to all of
Yeah,
us.
I just printed them off.
Okay, my understanding of this ordinance per the intel I got from Kent is this is more or less laying the groundwork for a much larger county road project that's gonna be taking place in the future. But I think this helps establish a process whereby if somebody wants to do a driveway cut or run a tile underneath the county roads, they need to be permitted for it so that the county highway at least knows what's going on. And then there is I'm gonna tell you, probably 80% of this ordinance has to do with the relationship between the county and the utility companies who are operating in your right of way.
I have a question on
So-
the permitting. So, what's the cost of the permitting? Or is there one? And if there is one, is there gonna be a separate fund for it, or is it gonna be, does the IC code allow?
You probably have to set up a separate fund for it, I think, but right now, the only cost I saw was $100.
Okay,
I don't think statutes control where you have to put that.
okay.
It was $100 for a driveway cut, and then there was,
Could Rusty check with these neighboring counties and see what they charge to get an
this is
idea?
almost verbatim what Montgomery County did.
Prorated, yeah, okay,
And then
good.
it's $1,000 or $100 per 1,000 lineal feet for any utility that's stupid. And that's the incentive. I think it's more of your recourse this is if somebody does it without your permission and we have problems, then you can fine them a hefty amount. Or, as part of the permitting process, they also post a bond saying, hey, whatever we did to this road, this bond's gonna cover it for the next 3 years.
I think as usual, we're a little behind on everything, because every time one of these companies call and talk to me about this, they're like, you sure there's no permits? You sure? You know, they just don't run across it ever. I said, no, just do whatever you want. You know.
So would Euro be collecting it, and then she would turn that into the auditor, kind of like what the health department does? Is
Say that again?
Would Euro at the highway department be collecting the permit money?
Yes,
and
yeah,
turning
yeah,
it
yeah,
into
yeah, the
auditor?
administration, yeah, sorry, I didn't know his name, yes.
Or-
And this leaves, not a lot of discretion, but the highway department has some degree of discretion in terms of specifying how, listen, this is the way we like to see these things look and all that sort of stuff.
Now, Ethan, is like the 20 foot from center, is that kind of just state? So I didn't see anything about that in there. And we're having issues with that right now.
That's old, so in a perfect world, when you take somebody's property to put a road in, you would compensate them one way or the other. And then you would have a deed for it saying, look, this is yours, but this road's mine, it's deeded to the county. We have a lot of old roads that people just traveled on that have become public highways just because of the fact that people have traveled on for 20 years. And that's not on a deed. Where's the road? We don't know. Well, 20 foot from center is the common law rule.
Okay.
Because some people.
So we don't need it
go to
in
the
writing
middle
to
of the road.
prove to people and things, because honestly, a lot of the problem is we're trying to do these ditching projects, and people are saying we're taking their land, and we're not. I mean, so, okay, I think, is that what you wanted, this ordinance?
That sounds good to me.
Okay,
So this stays
It's
with
a
the first
starting
reading,
point
and
that we don't have.
right.
so the next meeting will approve it.
Yeah, that's the first reading. And Ken did specifically say that there will have to be work done with some surveying, or I think he said that Azar guy. Some engineering firm at some point in time is gonna have to get involved in some of these roads, because like I
Yeah.
said, most of the deeds that it'll say, well, I own to the middle of the road, and we can say, well, common law rule is it's a public road, so we get 20 feet. Who knows how that's gonna go? We'd rather not litigate that with every landowner, you know.
And we don't want that, we don't particularly want it. We just want to be able to maintain our road and get a ditch.
Right.
I mean, we don't want to go any further than we have to.
Any questions on this? It's a big ordinance, it's a long one.
I don't,
It'll be posted for people to read.
What's the next one?
the
The noise
Noise.
ordinance?
mhm.
That one is what it is. I haven't had a ton of time to review it, but it just regulates, I think it's a party ordinance. That's the way it's read, but there's stuff in there about mufflers too.
I think dogs too, right?
It's open enough to where if there's any unreasonably loud noise, it's injurious to the health, or it's indecent, or it's offensive, or.
There you go.
Yes.
That was what started it.
And it's a fine, it's a fine.
Yeah. Okay.
The next one's Mount Warren County Health Department.
Just setting up the non-reverting fund.
So I did have a change that I wanted to propose to that. So in section B,
Oh.
it says, at the very end, it says, or any purpose related to the continued response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We're expecting to be receiving, quite a bit of money. So, once the governor states that we're not in a public health emergency anymore, I don't want to not be able to use those funds for public health initiatives. So I'm wondering if we could just then take or any purpose related to continued response to the COVID-19 pandemic and just change it to be any public health initiative. So then that way I don't have to seek out grant money, that's money that we have.
Were they going to jerk some of that money back? I thought I'd heard somewhere.
What was the question?
I don't know. It's probably not this one, but I had heard somewhere that I thought they were going to jerk money back if it wasn't used.
No.
The feds were taking it
not
back?
from our reimbursement.
Okay. Okay.
Not from the reimbursement.
Ethan,
Okay.
there's a
the
copy
grant.
of that email attached to the back of the ordinance that I handed you of her changes. So if you,
And I think I got that email too. The only thing I wasn't sure on, and I was gonna let Kent answer this,
Okay.
is this one of those funds where federal money went into it?
It's just reimbursements from Medicare. It's just like, it's a standard reimbursement for administration of vaccines. So, we get it through any vaccine that we give at the health department, we get it through private insurance companies. We can bill our Medicaid, Medicare, well, we don't do Medicare injections, but it's just, there are no stipulations. The state has assured us there are no stipulations on how we spend the money. If we wanted to buy uniforms for our department, we could do that. If we wanted to buy food for an event, we could do that. If we wanted to, and those.
But it's not one of those deals where they say, here's some money, but you can only use it for COVID, and your fund better say that.
Correct. No, it's no strings attached on how it's spent, but should be spent for public health.
Perfect.
I don't have a problem with that revision as long as Ken or anybody else doesn't. Ethan?
Yeah.
I go with that.
Yeah, and I think just, I don't know, it would make it, we could always inform you, of course, what we're planning on using those funds for.
Just out of curiosity, what's an expected revenue for that fund? Do you know? Do you have a
Expected what?
do you have a projected revenue for that fund?
Well, it just depends on how the state is, hopefully, we're getting credit for everyone that we have vaccinated.
Yeah.
So, we've done over 10,000 people and continuing, so it was going anywhere from $15 to $25 per injection.
Sure.
So
Okay,
it's gonna be a hefty amount.
perfect.
There is a snafu right now. Our first 2 clinic days in January, Lloyd County is getting credit for those vaccinations, and we've been working with the state to get that fixed, so that hopefully.
Floyd Fountain, it's kind of all the same.
Just about 100 miles apart, but close.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully they'll get those fixed, because
I mean, people's records are showing that's where county days are going to.
Sure.
So not only just a monetary, thing, but people have to have it in the right location.
Right. Very well. Thanks.
Thank you, Kelly.
Okay, I think that was all of them for the first reading, correct? Okay, resolution 2021-13, the adoption of the cafeteria plan dated June 1st this year through May 31st, 2022. And we do this every year.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Resolution 2021-14, establishing a policy for which the members of the Board of Commissioners may participate by electronic means of communication, which, I had to do that earlier
Yeah,
in the year because I was stuck at home due to the snows, but I was still able to
Yeah.
right.
Zoom. So,
But Kent had a problem with this.
Yeah, I think we will strike this and put it on next until we talk with Kent a little further. He was a little concerned about our technology at the
Yes,
moment.
a lack of.
I think we need to prove it, but I think we need to table this,
Okay.
until next meeting.
But basically, he said you had to, if someone was
Yeah.
coming into the meeting, they have to see us, we have to see them, and
Simultaneously.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Be able
know,
to communicate with you.
Okay, so let's just use me as an example, because when I was Zooming, I could see you guys, but only Bonnie could see me.
yeah, well, that won't work. Everybody in the room has to be able to
It
see.
really needs to be projected up there.
And the public now. The general public. You have to even wait for the general public to get online and join in the meeting as well.
Yeah.
And I think right now, we've been sharing with the newspaper, the link, but is that something that we need to put on our website? Some of the counties are, and we have talked about changing websites
Would
to
you do
where
this?
we can do more of that.
We've been over that.
I know it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Right.
Council. it's gonna cost
I'm
a
ready
lot
to
of
say
money.
just remove
But
it.
it's something that I think that we're moving towards, and it needs to be done. We've been tweaking what we have right now, so I'm working.
Ethan said they are strongly suggesting to their clients not to do this
Really,
Yeah,
because it will be a nightmare.
it's just so hard from, well, I mean, the attorneys, I know we like to run a public fund, but.
The trouble is with, if the public has to, we have to see the public in the meeting.
Yeah,
So
how you
many of
gonna-
our areas didn't have good internet connection or camera. How many people have, there's your iPhone.
What?
I think the good old way, they can come and show up if they.
Yeah. It's just an alternative. I mean, they can always show up, but yeah, I'm okay for at least tabling it for now
that's
until
fine.
we
Okay,
figure out a little further.
But can I put that on the website?
sure.
I can see where this is going to become a problem for the county. We need something, not that there's anything wrong with ours now, it just needs to be upgraded. It's kind of antiquated.
We've kind of talked about that behind the scenes a little bit. We agree.
It's not going to be any compliance, because you have to be able to have the contrast for anybody who can't see,
Okay.
and we don't have that function on our website.
And I know there's been certain companies that have reached out to me, I don't know about the other commissioners. And I've shared it with you, but I don't know if that's the companies that we want to go with. And talking to Colleen about what her other auditor friends have expressed, good, bad, pros,
And-
cons,
And like everything else, that's the best way to do it. Let's contact some commissioners. You can contact some auditors, say what works best for you and do it.
He's originally from Covington, he now lives around the Indianapolis area. I think he developed the one for the city of Covington, and it's a nice site if you get on there and look at it. But he was local at the time.
But I think we do need some things for like more updated agenda minutes, or
Yeah.
other information that needs to be posted because the newspaper found that didn't get something in. Yes, you can get a hard copy, take it to the public library, post office, whatever, but
Yeah, I've had complaints about the minutes not being on for 6 months at a time.
And the other thing is, Paddington has been doing it, maintaining websites. She's never been.
Never been,
compensated.
no,
Right,
no,
and that's not really fair.
And I think
No.
when it started, it just was for the clerk's office, and then we kind of built off of it, and she's still been maintaining it all these years. And I know the IT, you know, it's just another job to do itself, so I think that's where we need to go with another company to.
Also, SRI, my staff went to that seminar. Now, if we have a website we can upload our tax dollars to, we don't have to advertise it one time instead of 3. So that would cut that expense.
Oh, yeah.
We-
That's
we talked-
huge.
They talked about that in our
You
commission
know,
meeting.
there's a savings of $300, $300+.
Each time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we-
say to go up to $500.
Right.
Depends on how many tax sale properties you have. So that would,
Might pay for it all year if you get 10, 15, 20 of those.
Do you have his contact information or that? Okay. Why don't we check that out and then I'd be in favor of that, and then if you guys have some other resources too. Sounds good.
Danny,
On to department heads, Danny, no, you're up first.
we're burning this meeting up. 35 minutes
Don't
so
say that
far.
yet.
Not a 2-hour marathon.
I was waiting to go to lunch after that.
You go early.
Okay, I'll share that information. Thank you.
And sorry about being late today, except I was thinking 8:30, but I went online and the website actually says 9.
No, it is at 9.
No,
No, you're fine.
First of all, I just wanted, in October, I came and I asked for permission to submit a grant request for $1,411,730. And the Department of Corrections accepted that, but they decided they were only going to give us increments for 6 months and then the second 6 months. So when they did that, they only gave us $705,865.10. So now, the July 1 coming, I'm needing permission to accept the second half of the money that we gave them permission to ask for, we were granted. They gave it to us in increments, and anyhow, they've already, I think, tried to process it.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, so basically, it's kind of a done deal, but I just need permission to accept that money.
I'll make a motion to accept the 705,000 even
865.
$705,865.10.
from the Indiana Department of Correction.
I'll second it.
Just so you guys know, $33,787.50, that is actually for probation officer. The grant pays for one of your probation officers upstairs. $545,806 of that was for community corrections. The rest of it goes to the Park County, Montgomery County initiatives that they get through the grant that come through. our-
Right, okay.
So, and for a total of, just so you know, the, Putnam County gets for the probation officer annually $67,575. And community corrections gets from the Indiana Department of Corrections $1,091,612. So, we're the majority of that money, I guess. And then also, I just wanted to ask if you received my email about House Bill 1068.
I did. Now, can we vote on that first before we move on to that? You made a
Yes,
motion.
yeah.
Second, we didn't vote. All
Aye.
in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, sorry.
No, that's all.
I want to make sure.
That means calling, because it's electronic signature now. Used to I had to have you guys sign everything, and now, and I do have a letter. You can have them sign that.
Yeah. We would have, I think.
Yeah, I got it right here. Yep.
And I need that loaded into the grant system. And the House Rule 1068 basically has created a requirement that every county has to have a Justice Reinvestment Council. It's called JRAC. There's one at the state level, and what this consists of statutorily, there's 9 members, one being a commissioner, president, commissioner, or designee, president, council, or designee, sheriff, community correction director, chief probation officer, judge, public attorney, and also a mental health representative.
So it's basically just like the community corrections board.
Basically, except, and the
So-
statute, and when you read through it, it does say that community corrections can serve as that board, except that board has a specific 9 members on it. We don't have a representation on our board for Albright County. You know, like out of the million, we may have 2 probation officers. That does not meet the needs of this community, so we do not have no intention of wanting to serve as this board. The million's doing their own, the government's doing their own. I'm working in the park right now, I think, in the Warren Mountain, everybody's doing their own. I just wanted you aware of it because we haven't set up a first meeting and you can send yourself a designate. And sheriff's.
So do we have to vote on who that person is?
No, there's no vote, it's just I need somebody to
Just
come to the
someone.
meeting and I, the only reason I took these on is because
Oh, no, yeah, you can do it.
they're gonna have to meet quarterly. And
I'm fine, I just want to ask.
No,
'cause I
I'm
know that you
kidding.
go in that area.
there
Yeah,
are quite a few new,
whatever.
especially some new by the end of this year, they've had to really get some reports and things like that. But we'll get through it, but it is going to be, I look for community corrections funding as it is to stay the same and for what we have for this grant. I look for any new funding from the state to fill through this park somehow. It may be 5 years down the road, but that's what I think the initiative will be. And also, unless you're not aware, I'll send you an email. There is a group right now, there's only like 6 of us on this entire email, but there's some federal COVID funds that are going to come into the communities. And it depended on this group on where they would go. And I think maybe that's something that you guys should get involved in instead of just a handful of people. And so I will forward that email to you.
Tim,
Okay.
that's Council 1068. Okay. Just wanna check.
Yeah, and that's effective July 1 and our first meeting is July 13. So. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Come by sometime.
I know, I
Yeah.
talked to you and I need to, I guess.
You come in, do 10 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.
Kelly, you ready?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we are winding down that Oprah grant. I got everything ready to be submitted. I'm just gonna get the check maybe today from Colleen, and get that going where we were de-obligating, that grant. So we spent, I think we have to send back like $51,000, spend the rest. But while I was looking through the detailed report, there was a invoice from the attorney's office for $665. In the Oprah, coming out of the Oprah fund, this isn't a health department expenditure. So we shifted it out of Oprah, we just threw it in 9777, which was our COVID testing and vaccination line item, just to clean up Oprah so I can get that done. But then now we need to figure out, I think this is county expenditures, so we just need to then figure out who gets this. So if you wanted a copy of this one, I think it was one, it's just preparing for, department head meetings, leaving, like leave issues, it's definitely departmental.
I think she's taking on.
So maybe county
This
policies.
normally would come out of that COVID-19 county general. For this whole year. So I guess we should make a motion to have it be paid out of there,
I'll make that motion.
right on this. And then,
Oh, yeah.
I'll second the motion.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Let's get to you.
So I had submitted all those grants, and I just checked my phone to see if I got any updates on when we were going to be getting them. We did receive 2, so that was the Moderna mass vaccination grants. Those were minimal amounts. It was like approximately 5,000 for Fountain County, approximately 2,000 for Warren County, but those both have been submitted, so that's working to get us back to the positive. We were awarded an additional 16,000 for the next 18 months, starting January 1st, 2021 to June 30th of 2022. That would be the Warren County portion of that vaccination grant. If you remember, we were only getting 33,000 to serve 2 counties, so they gave me an additional 16, so.
Well, that was, wow,
That
A
was,
little over 50,000 for 18 months.
that's impressive.
But,
Well,
so.
we got something.
At least
Yeah.
we got something. So I think it helped having maybe the liaison here that day that I was here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
yay, I'll have to call
Well,
her.
and I talked to Dave Butteroff at AIC about it too. Because he has talked to me about sharing, because another county wants to share 911, so he wanted to talk to me to see how it plays out. And I said, really? If I had to do it, if I was in charge, and that time I was over, I'd do 50/50.
Mhm.
I said, the bookkeeping is a nightmare.
It's kind of crazy. COVID taught us a lot, hasn't it?
It has.
No, because equipment is 50/50, but the other stuff is not, and so depending on where it shows up in the claims and everything, it's not real fun.
Yeah, well, even when we were hiring, years ago, when we got Win Records, for him to split all of our funds, 2/3, 1/3, there's sometimes one penny
yeah.
that just throws it all off. And I know when Peyton does it now, she's like, I'm a penny off. I'm like, well, you have to do this. So it's crazy, but, anyway, so we did get that additional 16,000 and got that submitted. So as soon as those come through, I'll let you know what they're saying. What else about that? So our clinic day at the senior center ended, our last day was May 25th, so now we moved everything to the health department. So Wednesdays and Saturdays, so Wednesdays from 10 till 6, Saturdays 9 till 11, and that'll go through July. We don't know how we're gonna do our hours in August. This back to school shots and everything else, it may just be too much. We may just do it during office hours and not Saturdays. Our first day back at the health department was a little hectic, a little chaotic, because they're not coming through the department because there's just no room. So they're getting their vaccines in the car, and we're trying to keep them separated from testing, because that's outside. So testing goes under our carport, vaccines stay in the open parking lot. So, and then Saturday went a little smoother, so, but the numbers are dwindling, so.
How many people are getting tested on a regular basis and how many people are getting vaccinated at the clinics now?
Testing went way down, so they're probably seeing maybe 10 people for testing a day, some days less.
Sure.
I think we had 4 one day, but then 10 another, so.
Yeah.
But probably no more than that. And then vaccinations, so we're still doing all of our second doses from May. And, we're getting a handful of new doses, new vaccines. So, let's see, Wednesday both days we did over 60.
Okay.
So
And do we know the percentage of Fountain County that's
we're
vaccinated?
still about 37%.
And did that hold true for Warren County also? Is that,
We're
yeah,
about the same.
okay,
So we'll be at the fairs. We're gonna be present at Warren County and Fountain County Fair. I'm gonna go down and talk to Laura Bush about, free ice cream scoop if you get a vaccine, which we're gonna be doing that in Warren County. And, just hopefully promote it. And then, we're getting a lot of young people in, so that's good too.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, hang on, we've got a question.
Are we seeing a lot of COVID after you've been vaccinated?
No, not here. There are some breakthrough cases, they're very rare. Minimal side effects. I don't know the numbers, but like a handful may have been hospitalized, and may have gone into ICU, but I just don't remember, but it's like 0.002% of the population that's been vaccinated. It's been, just a few people.
Maybe how do you get that vaccination? You have to have a booster shot anytime soon?
We don't know, that's still, being determined. So as long as the clinical
She
trial
gets hammered.
is, not meeting it, they're still showing effectiveness against the COVID vaccine, and they're developing it for sure, but, I don't know. Maybe a year. I don't know. Maybe less.
Maybe.
Maybe, we don't know.
We know we hammer you with all the questions, and it's okay if you don't know everything, so we appreciate that,
Yeah,
what you bring to us.
but, okay, anything else?
Thank you.
I appreciate you being able to come here with no notes, Kelly. That's just the amount of knowledge you have in your head is just,
Dangerous.
yeah, rack those, yeah. No, it's very
Jenny,
impressive.
do you have anything? Come on up. We want to see you and hear from you anyways.
Can I do something real quick?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, it's been brought to my attention that the COVID-19 part-time, which is the judge's office, we go ahead and take that person out of that line item, but we need to make a motion to transfer from the COVID-19 line item down to the COVID-19 part-time in the amount of 1,686. I think that's what the number is.
I'll make a motion to transfer
Kind of what the sake of me right now.
down to part-time for $1,686.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Some of the properties we've been working on, so on 234, the attorney has been in contact with me in regard to the bank. They have asked if there's any fees or fines that's been placed on that property as of yet, and if you send it to the attorney. So it has been sent to Gordon in Ken's office.
Okay,
Because he's working on another one of the properties for me.
Oh, great.
So it has been sent, the salvage yard, I think it's on 284.
yes, right.
It has been sent as well. So we have probably 4 or 5 properties that has been sent to the attorney, to get to.
I've had neighbors asking me, well, once you and Ethan jump in on this, once you send them the documentation, how long is it before the county physically cleans the property up? Brings the county hires somebody.
1 to 5 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So
Could be
the minimum
quicker.
is-
I've never had one quicker. No, that's not a minimum. I'm just telling you ones I've seen. I haven't been practicing. I mean, I started in 2017 and we just closed one out that my boss Lindman said this is about a 5-year-old case. Now, with the health department stuff, that's quicker than the run-of-the-mill ordinance violations, but they take a while.
Yeah. That kind of has history with that. They process and won through courts, and within 30 days, county highway was down there cleaning up the property. That was down in,
Get on it.
yeah, south of 41, the small town off of the right.
Yeto.
Yes, yeah, that was in Yeto.
Well, and my thing is too, the county highway doesn't have time. Thanks for bringing that up. County highway doesn't have time. I would hire private contractors
Yeah.
to go in and clean up.
They just used the county highway at that time.
Okay, yeah, right. That's good to know.
Yeah, yeah. No, contract would be much better.
That would be a lot more efficient than not there to do it.
Right.
Is there any update on the property on 28? I heard there was another.
There is another trailer there into that.
Yeah.
Weekend, so
Yeah.
things will be moving on with that. I have been with the, one of the installers out there. There probably is room. So it's looking to set again for all of the proper, all of the trailers, so.
But the ball's already started on these cases, right? I mean, these people have already been notified, hey,
Right.
we have a problem, we violated this, okay.
Right.
And then I
Then
did reach out to Eric about, and I think you were on vacation, out here on Sand Hill Road. I think they started to clean up the trailers, but there's,
Sand Hill Road is a whole nother ballgame.
there's 2 lots. She said those 2 lots will be cleaned up and the house is gonna be redone, so it's still eventually looking nice, but she was concerned about the trailers.
And so that would probably determine which, because I'm working on several of those
Okay,
around that.
I just wanted to double check since you were here. I
Yeah,
know that-
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I continue to find is they will clean it up, start doing the process, but then once you kind of like lose eye of it, they fall right back.
Yeah.
That's where we're at, especially on Sand Hill Road. I guess, yeah. And another question on the 234 property, the attorney says that they are not, there is a tenant in there currently, but it is a foreclosed property. So for some time, that they're apparently still in there. They're stating they cannot force it out because of the COVID memorandum.
It's a squatter?
Yep.
Yep, it's the guy who owns it.
But the attorney, their attorney is not willing to do anything.
That does not sound right at all. They own the property. They can legally, we're asking for trespass. Right, Sheriff?
Right.
Yeah.
They said they
Will he
had,
touch it though? When I had,
I guess we're gonna hear this call on the radio.
Yeah.
they said, the attorney said they've had people out there, they were gonna change the locks, and said there was someone living there, so they cannot touch it.
and they'll say it's civil. We're not, this is civil. Is that what you guys,
I just caught the tail end of it.
there's a squatter living in a foreclosed property, and the landlord or whoever has the deed or whoever foreclosed on it says, well, we tried to evict them, and the sheriff says,
No,
not gonna.
No, the
no,
attorney said.
the attorney said they're not
Their
gonna
attorney
touch
said
it. That owns the property, the bank, says they can't remove them. Well, they've had possession of it since 2018 in a repo. The guy moved back in. It's 230,
They're saying they can't do it because of the COVID, right now because of the COVID restrictions. They
You-
can't do it.
That's
because of that.
it's false.
You
I just
can't-
wanna be very
you
aggressive.
can't do it on the fact that I own it, I'm the bank, I own it, I tell you that guy's squatting, he's trespassing, get him out. No, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they'll say it's civil.
Okay.
The
But
bank doesn't want. it's
trespass is criminal.
That COVID thing, we get around all the
I
time.
get it.
All the time.
So they're confusing us.
That, what it is you say, hey, I'm gonna evict you, and then they have to sign an affidavit swearing 5 things, and one of them is basically saying, if you evict me, I'm gonna go live in a homeless place and cough on everybody and give them COVID. And the second you call them out on that, they won't show up to court, and the judge will sign it. It's probably more money and it's worth to the bank, that's why they don't wanna mess with it.
So what if as a county, we go after the property and clean it up, even though the person's still living inside because they're against our ordinance? What happens there? Can we do that?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I'm just, so that's what.
Well, we didn't, we're not condemning it, right? Or-
No, we're just cleaning the property up. That's our complaint.
Yeah, that's fine.
basically, to give you the total picture, the guy runs a trash truck or works on one. He sets stuff off the side of the trash truck all day. He goes to his house, unloads the trash in his front yard, literally right on 234. Some of it's about on the highway. And he's done this for how many years? And the neighbors are finally just fed up.
I will let you know, we did take 3 loads out there.
Got about 100.
I stopped by the house one day, we offered to help him. And I said, "There, Friday, he actually took 3 loads out. So it looks like he's trying to clean it,
Okay.
I don't know. And if you guys don't get to drive down there, it looks better. Considering the like, yes. So, and I don't know if it's actually stopping anymore to dump he was taking the stuff off the track and throwing it straight into the yard.
And something like this is not a 1 to 5 year case. This is enough of an emergency situation where you can get something immediately.
I think you got
If
health
it's really
issues.
just Matt, I thought we were talking about somebody, not my own person.
No.
So I guess it's we'll just leave it for.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. I don't, thank you. Garth,
Our clock's slowing down.
I told you, I spoke too soon.
Two? Only which one? Just, I put on there, you've got in front of you, just a run number comparisons for the last 3 years. It's basically based off of January through May is what it is. So the first 5 months of each year, as you can tell, 2020. Last year, April, as we know, was in a quick shutdown. So that's the reason why those numbers look the way they do. But as you can tell, there was so much increase in our numbers. And, in the middle, it talks about transports. That's where we're at on our transports right now.
Garth told me this week, and I did not realize this, that the Warren County Ambulance Service is only staffed how many hours a day?
There's not 24 hours a day, but we're usually covering. What I mean covering is they'll send out they don't have a backup truck. So they'll have one truck staff. And that's usually 2 to 4 days a week. Now, do we go into the county and do some of their 911? We do, but it's not on a regular basis. But basically what I'm saying is you don't have a truck there, and we're having to cover if there's a 911 call come in, they're typically calling us.
Is that a on-purpose scheduling issue, or is that lack of employee issue?
Lack of employees, and they just don't staff. I can't, I'm gonna say lack of staffing, I mean, it's what it is,
Yeah.
they can't get people to
They're
staff.
wanting to buy us. Yeah. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to see if it was on purpose or lack of staff, yeah.
I can't indulge on that, but.
That's okay.
Right.
You
Okay.
know what it's worth.
Right.
On that point. Now, do they come over and help us? Yeah, but typically, when they're over helping us, all 3 of my ambulances are out. I mean, we had a case on Memorial Day, where all 3 of my trucks were out on calls, and we got a call, the call come in Badlands. Originally come in one patient, ended up being 4. They came over, initiated, and,
That's what we have.
we ended up calling for other departments. Come to find out we didn't need them, but that was typically most of the time when we have to call them. We don't have a truck available.
So one day, we're gonna have to have a facility in Attica capable of holding 2 trucks and having 2 trucks up there all the time instead of running back and forth from
Yeah.
Petersburg 30 times a day.
That scenario there, just,
And I'm proposing in my 2022 budget, I think I've talked to most of, Brenda and Sam, I think I'm pretty good talk with you is, that I'm proposing in my 2022 budget is asking for 4 additional personnel to run a 12-hour shift right now. 8A to 8P, and I think that'll help a lot for not because that's where we're finding a lot of our runs are falling. Can't put that truck in Attica at this point, but we can staff it in Petersburg at the point until we decide what we're going to do in the Attica. If we're going to build a bigger building or whatever, then we can eventually move it up there.
Has the mayor talked to you or any of you guys about,
We all need to get together and
that's what I'm thinking,
And that's the last conversation I had with him, was when I was sitting down with you guys.
just find locations where maybe we do need 2 ambulance up in Attica.
We definitely need 2 up there. We need a 4th ambulance right now, just because either there, because when the Attica first truck goes out, we're getting more and more second calls up there. So we're having to pull the Petersburg truck up there to take it, So that's what I'm proposing for my 2022, is 4 more people to where we can do a 12-hour shift and that would help that overflow. And it may have to eventually go to 24. I'd like to start somewhere, at least start at 12 hours. And like I said, it's all information you can see down there in the mileage on the email, so try to keep you guys updated on Speaking of ambulances, the gentleman, the company working on our present remount, shows September, the chassis with a question mark.
Like everything else in the world.
Yeah, waiting on the chips, basically, is what I'm hearing. And, somebody had mentioned the other day, and I think Steve, my representative, said there is a parking lot down in Kentucky with over, let's say, 5,000 trucks sitting, waiting on the chip.
Fort Wayne's the same way.
Yeah.
So we're waiting on that right now. He's got the box off of the truck now. It's been stripped and it's getting painted. So they're getting the box done itself. Now we're just waiting on the chassis.
Yeah.
And it'll be, once the chassis comes in, it'll be 60 days. So we're probably, if it stays in September, we're looking to some.
Is what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was one reason why the highway ordered, but I mean, their budget was approved for them to order.
Just FYI, and I really would like to still look at, I'm looking all of September coming. We need to, we're gonna have to look at another truck for next year. I think right now we need to stay with remount, because I'm gonna check with some other representatives, but this gentleman told me right now, we're looking at 275, 300,000 for brand new. Because he said the aluminum went almost 300.
Need to talk to Enterprise about leasing ambulances.
Which I plan on doing.
Yeah.
I honestly,
It's a market they're not in right now, but.
I had that chance, I called her.
Oh, that's all right.
I
He
will
said
be
it's
able-
not a market they're in right now.
But yeah.
Huh.
That's where we're at right now, if you buy a brand new. But I'll check with other representatives to make sure.
I'm sure there's other companies out there doing that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we can lease it
Yeah.
to somebody else.
Thanks for the,
So are you gonna budget for a new ambulance for next year? Have you talked to any of the council about?
I can, I mean, we haven't in the past. I mean,
Well, we did for this year.
we did this year, so yes, I can.
I think you mentioned it at that meeting.
I did mention it, I will continue to mention. And I've got a truck right now that's got, it's a Lifeline box, which is one of the best top of the line boxes. I'd like to remount it. I would like to. It's a very, very well built box. I would hate to not remount that. And I think we can keep the cost down on, not have to spend as much on brand new versus a remount.
Well, the reason I asked is because it's been kind of tossed around, I think, with Kent, with County Farm, and the current contract has not been updated at all. And so the question was, do you want to sell the county farm and then use the interest, off of that, or? It's like, it ain't gonna do it.
500,000, 1%, 500. That's nuts.
Yeah, some of the funds are expendable because of creating a sheriff fee. But that's, that's what the funds are for. And the council is certainly looking at it.
Thank you for
Anything
the
else?
approval on the appropriations.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you bumped them too.
That's, and any kind of numbers will kind of justify the reason for that.
So are you pretty good with your ambulance fees and everything?
Yeah, right now, I mean, we've discussed, increasing, the fee, but the problem is Medicare's only going to give you so much, so then it increases that allowed amount they're going to take off. So, yes, we're doing well. I mean, we're a little behind right now on billing with Jeff gone. As you guys know, Jeff is stepping down with my deputy director. He's going to stay on until the end of September. We'll start probably in July taking applications and in August review. We did pretty well, January, February, March. April was a little low, but it fluctuates, as you know, April, Medicare was behind, so that was behind. And then May was exceptionally busy too. Yes, fees we're holding our own. Really don't want to get into looking at increasing that because, like I said, it's not, we're not gonna get any more money. Because you're not gonna pay a certain amount.
Well, you know, that's why it's just.
Right, no, absolutely.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you, Garth. Yeah.
Rusty, you're up. You're next.
Guess what? I'm not asking for money today.
Keyword today.
Not today. Not yet.
Right.
Hey, when's the bids due for the used equipment? Did you get that up?
You know, I haven't got that back from Ken. Bids on used equipment.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I have some.
He's got the information.
Pardon?
He's got the information.
Okay, well, I've got 2 bids, or 3 bids.
Okay.
You want them?
Yeah, we need to stamp them all. Are they sealed?
No, it wasn't sealed, and it's,
No, okay. But can you leave it in the
Tell him.
For the record, this is why we don't want the thing on video.
Look, it's sealed now, he licked it.
Why don't you have whoever gave that send another one?
hey, I need that right
Just to
away
clear the law.
program. I'd like to see a copy of what you got on that. The reason being, I have several fellows that think that gravel piled up along the roads there, and they're taking it. So they're loading right out of our windrows, taking it, putting it in their fields or their entrances or what have you. Some are putting signs that say they farm from ditch to ditch and they're greedy, which I don't have a problem. I don't mind if they just telling the truth, so. But at conference, I did find something that's pretty interesting. The new infrastructure and the new weight limits on these trucks that are gonna be running through our county roads. You guys can establish permits. They all would have to have a permit to drive the roads in Fountain County.
Did that 120,000 pounds pass?
Yes,
Oh, my God.
yes, and just to give you an example, last week, 70% of our entire crew was spent in all the detour runarounds, trying to keep the gravel roads to where you wouldn't kill yourself.
Yes.
Bypass, whether the state senate or Google senate, that's where they went. 3-ton bridge limits,
Yeah.
and phase them a bit, so. This company, Oxcart, is offering to do a free system. They do it all online for your county. I think you guys need to look at it, and I think we all need to at some point get together. The conference was pretty exciting this time as far as legislative and what have you. Also, there is going to be funding available for your local governments, such things as portable scales for your sheriff's department, free of charge. You heard that one, Terry? What?
Wow. Another job,
Yeah. No,
but it might pay off if you split the money with the sheriff's department. You split the money with the sheriff.
Well, and that's why I want you guys to look at it, but, they'll pay for everything. So, and some of your permitting and what have you can help offset some of it. But without right of way, I don't know where permits would be. So that's, there again, that's what I'm kind of stressing. Travis and I are gonna go, measure fairgrounds whenever he's off vacation, and we have to have a place to test out all the new equipment. So we thought that might be a great place to test it, make sure it all works right, if we can come within budget and help and see what we can do with that. So I've asked for a key. I'm gonna try to get that all measured so that when he comes back off vacation, that's hard to tell because he's showed up today. He's that dedicated.
We want to try to get something done with them before the 5th, I think is, the pre-thing, and then the 9th is the regular, so hopefully I can get another measure to quit raining for a while. Other than that, I really don't have anything, a major deal with us will be next Monday. Whatever that decision is, we'll make up what we're gonna do the rest of the year. We're already far behind. It's not funny, but we can get there. The borrowed equipment we had, we use. We've got approximately 4 miles of that equipment was able, that we use on that work excellent. Problem is, it's the different type. But we can't cross bridges and we can't cross oil shots with it because it's a spike and it'll dig in. So that being said, what we did run it on proved exactly after 3/4 inch of rain, we graded the road, which is totally unheard of. And we use a sheet. I'm not saying it's a good road today because of this, but.
Yeah, I got a call already on that one, but I don't know. I haven't.
Well, I'm sure you have. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, if you haven't got the equipment, haven't got everything to make it right,
Right.
you're gonna have a mess. And, rain is definitely, working against us. However, the width is there.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
didn't have any opposition on width. So the other thing is our tanks, we're waiting on, IDM. Roger is working with that. We're trying to get it all drained down where it's the minimum cost. I also have a signed agreement with Mark Carr. There is a back entrance to the county highway. Mark has agreed to allow us his driveway. And I in turn said we would take millings and whatever it took to make his driveway nice, so we won't red it and what have you. The gate is on out at the plant on 41. That will be locked every night and all weekend.
I was gonna say, it looked pretty, but I've never seen
Yeah,
it locked yet.
Yeah.
Does Petersburg will need a key to get to their pump station or
Whatever you
not?
wanna take care of,
Okay.
I give it to them this morning.
Oh, great.
Yeah. so,
Okay.
That being said, Dawson is redoing our back gates, the hangers and everything, raising it so we can access it. All of our guys, one key fits all 3 locks. So, and all new padlocks on all the gates. So that when construction starts, we will have at least an out.
Okay.
I think we got the bugs worked out in a few things. Everything went into the computer and we didn't take the little chip out of the computer to go out and program each bump. I'm telling the story right, so Travis and I had to fill everybody's vehicles out there. Ours was the only 2 that worked. But that's all done, so everything's working.
I talked to that Daniel Davis after her presentation,
Yes,
from Deacon Snyder. So she wants to reach out to us, and I don't know if maybe Yura needs to be the one to talk to her to let her know what exactly she's wanting, you
yeah.
know, for,
Yeah, the assessment management, you guys been working real great now, is up around, was that figure, 35,000?
yes.
$35,000. So when you came in at 8,000, they should have jumped all over because now everybody's on the bandwagon. And so anyway,
A lot of them are 30-some thousand, close to 40.
Oh, yeah, we've seen that ourselves.
Yes.
So, GIS, I had Brenda talk to the lady with GIS because we had GIS.
Right.
But we also have beacon. So GIS is what I had originally 13 years ago with all the pipes and all the roads and all the signages in it. I just can't access it because I did.
It's kind of like Linda, she's got the old system.
Right.
Same thing with the highway department.
Right.
So we're trying to get something in the highway department so that, I guess when you use gravel or whatever, you,
Rock, gravel,
you have to have a
Paper.
record of how much you're
Yes.
using.
right.
On a job and everything. Because we have had complaints about, why don't we know this stuff, but we've never had the equipment,
Right.
or software to do it. So, working with Rusty, I did attend the engineering conference and did speak to some of them about some of that.
Right.
Because as previous auditor, I know what is needed in the county.
Well, and LTAP is coming Wednesday. She's gonna set up the work order, stress program, the maintenance, all that stuff with me, go over it. And so, you know, that's a available system, even though the road grader program didn't work so well yet, but it will. We're gonna reach out to the work order program, and that didn't cost us anything. That's just free updates and getting everything. And everything will be online, so we don't have to travel to the state of Indiana to learn how to do water management, chainsaw, bucket truck equipment. They will come here, and that way every one of our men will have the opportunity to have the training free of charge. So it's just a matter of getting scheduled with LTAP. And once I dove in with them again on the road grader program, that is now going to be in Park County next week and Montgomery County the week after. And I have 2 going to Montgomery County. One is a grader operator before that has been on for a while, and the other one's never been. But I need everybody to know how to run a grader, because if that program goes, the guy takes his comp time or his day off or vacation. So we can keep that program going. We proved that we could do 11 miles one day, not complete, but if we had the equipment, we'd have 11 miles completely done, 53 packed, ready to go. So that's what we're working on, and the big deal will be Monday, whether we continue or not.
Got my little black book.
Yeah, and well, and that's.
You ready?
I'll tell you, that right of way is so important. When guys are taking the gravel right off the gravel right, that's bad. I don't care what you say, I don't care who he is. That's bad. Or he just drags it back down into the ditch. I mean, come on, that's, so, I don't care if they're mad at me, that's a program that's worked, and,
Prosecutors downstairs.
yeah.
No, I agree with him.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
Okay.
that's, if we don't have it right here in our hand, we just will throw it out the window, because it's not gonna get.
20+ calls and or text
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday reference the appreciation for the gravel being put on roads.
No way.
Jackson Township.
No way. Mine are all bad. How you got? How'd you get good ones? I got nothing but bad.
I get those too, but these are people that were called with the bad ones, calling back saying, we appreciate it. They're just not understanding why the gravel's not being pulled back. Traffic to explain, and you told me this before, I forgot, that it's still got a lot of mud in it. You pull it back now, it's gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
But eventually, we will pull it back if there's mud in it or not, just to get it back.
Once it's compacted, the mud doesn't need anything when you seal it with the good stuff.
I just need to know how to answer them.
You gotta have compaction.
Okay.
So,
I told you about the walls covered bridge. The
Yes.
guy mows down there, said there's about ready.
I think the guy that does the one that up here should go down there and give us an estimate on it.
Okay, and who, speaking of Rob Roy, we probably don't need, I mean, I don't know, we don't need, the Park County Commissioner, Dan Cullum, to do it, do it? We, or could,
I don't know anything about the woodworking of those things. I know years ago, when they redid that bridge, they
Right.
came out of Bloomington, was it, Travis?
I can't tell you.
It was
well, Dan Cullum redone that one since I've been a commissioner.
That's what Bud was in.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that one there,
For
but,
him, we had some work done on it.
but he's either so busy or,
I mean, they came down, they
Got rid-
jacked it up, they put new shit, they did all kinds of stuff.
okay. Oh, okay, so just wondered if anybody called us on that one.
I have not, all I did was close it.
Okay.
I
Duke
mean,
is,
up there.
okay, did Duke send you guys the email too on the, okay, I told him to contact Valley Insurance. And then
Kent had worked on that before too, because
Yeah, we
I'd
did
sent,
that like 6 months ago.
Kent and I had talked about, yeah,
I don't know why this guy can't figure out how to get his claim.
Kent had a solution and he was dealing with him, so, but that's been like, it was
Right.
6 months ago.
All he's gotta do is turn in the insurance and they'll pay it if we took it down. I mean,
Right.
all I could do
We
is contact
give him-
Valley Insurance and he'll turn in the EMC and they'll pay it.
Right.
We gave him the information, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
so.
he acts like, okay. Randy Slider with the roofer that's going to do the Cage Mill Bridge
Right.
texted me last week and said, they told him they could get him the metal in 3 to 4 weeks or whatever. Now they're saying, 3 to 4 more weeks, and he was upset, and I'm like, Randy, there's nothing you can do about it. It's everywhere with every material.
I got a load of pipe this morning that's been ordered for 2.5 months.
So,
And I did get the new tractor with the new sidearm with the ditching head delivered.
okay. And then the other thing, thanks for getting those signs up at Rob Roy. Now it's closed, but at least you got the signs up.
Yeah.
And have the ones came in for towpath yet to 30 mile an hour? Are they up?
No.
Okay.
No.
Nice.
They're not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, the TDS is dragging their feet up north on 1400. AT&T has not removed the column thing from the bridge at Wallace. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you deal with because you don't have a right of way to tell them to get it off.
All right.
I'm just saying again, I'm not trying to pick on you, Dave, but I need that ordinance right.
Poor Ethan's just sitting here today. He's rarely here.
I'm not trying to.
I have the ordinance for you, it's right here.
All right, let me have a copy.
Well, you can, we can have a copy, but
Email it to you and you're up.
I know.
It doesn't need squat yet.
nope.
See, I didn't ask for them.
Thanks, Rusty.
Thanks, Rusty.
Sheriff,
Hi.
morning.
Crotch. It worked out good. So the only thing I've got for you is, we got 28 inmates that we're being paid for. I meet with Sheriff Phelps this week to take another 30. If my numbers stay the way they are right now, I'll have 98 in jail.
So what are we being paid for right now? 20?
28.
28, okay. And then you might get another 30.
They got 2 for parole, 13 for 13 for solving, 3 waiting to go to USC, and 13 level 6. Part of the correction sentence. So, and the rest of them, like I said, we'll be getting from Maine County, and that will put me up to 98. So I get them at the end of this month.
Awesome. So is Vermillion County actually going to do something with their jail or?
Yeah, they're actually remodeling.
RQAW.
I didn't know that they were that far along.
And I wasn't supposed to get these people until July, August. And Phelps called and said, hey, they told us to get everybody out by the end of June. Okay.
There you go.
So.
Great, we'll take them.
Oh, yeah. Like they're the only one giving. So I'll find a bed somewhere.
There you go.
The 98 is going to be the highest capacity it's been since opening.
And does that put you pretty close to the 80%?
Yeah.
Because we got 120.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful how many we put in after that because of the state. You know, so-
Is that what the deal is, 80%?
80%,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
But, I mean, you can push that all the time, but they wanted the 80.
and we used to push it a lot, with Real Jill.
Out there, we always did it.
Yeah, I mean,
Are there any concerns of being 80% with that 98? Does that bring forth any concerns on your behalf? No.
we have
Okay.
some of the best jailers around, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. And then I'm gonna end up talking to Sheriff Phelps. Instead of laying some of his people off, I'm probably taking a couple of them. Plus they know their inmates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good idea from Carol Owens to, because right now, we're not, I mean, because nobody's applying.
Right.
We want to pay everybody to stay home until 17.
Sure.
Then we'll start seeing those lots of people put applications,
Maybe.
maybe. So, I mean, I've had to work the jail at night, so not a big deal. It is what it is. All right,
Thank you.
thanks. Oh, yeah.
Joe, do you have anything?
Way to go, Joe.
All right, you mean, let's see. Oh, insurance committee. We need to take action,
Should we check it again?
probably. Here, I'll give this to Tim to you if you want to read it. During the COVID, there were certain doctors that
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Okay, so we need the health committee to make a motion to add that to our policy so that, because that was the only way that some of these people could see a doctor. I know we have that fresh bennies, but this is kind of another deal.
No, this was forced by the doctors.
Yes.
Had nothing to do with fresh bennies. I
So we just
mean,
need to make a motion to add that to our policy so that these people aren't eating the cost, because right now our coverage does not cover it. And so we need the health committee, and we are not gonna meet for a while, the health committee.
I thought we were meeting in July, around 1st of,
Yeah, well, we could just take care of it like now.
what, do we even have a formal committee that votes on anything?
We don't really vote on anything.
No,
but,
I'd say, yeah, I don't have a problem. The commissioners ought
I think
to,
Colleen just wanted the committee here just to be aware of it, that we were gonna make that change to the policy and add that for those county employees that have to do the Zoom with their doctor that our health insurance is not covering.
Yes.
The cost is like, right now, there's 56 claims and total is about $8,000, but that's before discount. So once it's discounted,
Once we
we're
go
only
with
talking probably $5,000 to $6,000. Then
Right.
you've got some that may not have met deductible,
right,
so, you know,
And
it's
the-
not gonna cost the county $8,000.
and the employees would have had to take it out of their pocket, and that's not fair, so county's gonna cover it. So, and it was forced on them. If you were gonna see a doctor during COVID, a lot of them said, okay, we're gonna Zoom. Well, our insurance plan wasn't set up for that because we had never had experienced COVID before. So,
So basically, we just need your approval to go ahead and have the policy amended to cover that, so those claims.
Right.
can be
And I don't
covered.
Well, I think it
we ever
ought-
made a motion.
no, we don't have
We
any.
just need to-
We just meet and
do your verbal
review
agreement.
everything, but Tom's on that, you're on it, Kim's on it, I'm on it, so we're all here. So.
And that's why we wanted to do it now.
And Andrew's actually, all three
All of us.
commissioners, yeah.
So anyway, just want to bring it up as.
So do we need a motion to do that?
Do we need a motion? We probably should.
We need a motion on this since this is really. a
I don't think so. Didn't the insurance company already make the amendments and you guys are just accepting it, or?
They want to know if we're accepting of it, we want to add that to the policy, and so then they can go back, they're asking us, asking our permission.
Who, and this is
Do you
a
wanna read
contract, it's a contract you guys already signed?
It's-
Yeah, I would make a motion then. If you guys already signed a contract with them and you're amending the contract, then yes, make a motion.
Okay.
Make a motion to cover is it telehealth, is that what it's called?
Telehealth services.
Telehealth services, so our county employees do not have to pick it up.
I'll second that.
Not do the full committee or just as commissioners vote on
Just commissioners.
it. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. That's all I have. I don't have anything else.
Yeah. Did you guys get the email from, well, Brent, but also through Ben DeSpinett from Warren County about joining the,
Yeah, if they're ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. It's not going to cost us anything. It keeps us in the loop. I mean, do I think Fountain County is going to get anything out of it? Probably not, but it's free and, you know, who knows?
Yeah, it seems like a good program, even if
Yeah, well, it's good to keep in touch. The program we're talking about, it's called READY, and it's a really economic development push. West Lafayette, and Tippecanoe and 9 surrounding counties will be members of it. And it doesn't cost us anything. We would just attend some meetings and put our input in, and, you know, maybe they come down and maybe there's something in Fountain County that none of the other counties have that, you know, they could work something in down here. But honestly, in the past, it's generally just worked around Tippecanoe County because they're such a major hub and have some, well, they're having problems finding people to work too. But anyhow, we've never been really engaged in economic development in this county at all. And at least with this, it's a good way to meet other people and get in the know, I guess.
So according to this, did you read the email? Said something
Yeah.
about we need to adopt or?
Yeah, that's why I was,
Okay, all right. So we just read it.
yeah.
I didn't see your email.
So,
Was this here what we needed to adopt? Or was
yeah,
there a
just
separate-
saying that,
Or was there a separate attachment, I thought?
well, we just need to sign,
Oh, there we go, that one.
yeah, it's just said that
Yep,
we expressed it, you know, that we'll join the Regional Economic Accelerated Development Initiative. Oh, and there's possibly $50 million coming with this too. That was the big push too, for the region. And they're giving them throughout the nation, but these guys in Lafayette and West Lafayette are pretty sharp, and they've got Purdue backing them too. So there's probably a good chance
So
they'll get something. So
it's like REI, yeah.
Do we need to have it on our letterhead?
here, she can have this. Yeah, probably. And then we'll just all sign it. But I would make a motion
I'll send this with you.
I would make a motion to join with Tippecanoe and the other 8 counties on this READY program.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
For you.
And I'll, Andrew can be our representative. Young, understands things. I think it'd be a great thing.
Brian?
Oh,
I think he was gonna study. Ken was.
Tim's
Somebody.
gonna study it. Okay. Anybody have anything else?
I did get it on the 1.5 million.
I didn't see that.
Can't spend it, I think,
Can't
we got
They
it.
still have advised not to get
Yeah.
It's in a hurry because they feel like it's gonna lighten up and we'll be able to use it broader.
That's kind of what we've heard too
Yeah.
from our
And I
people.
think they're just wanting the counties to get their advisory boards in place, the resolution first, which we've already done that. We haven't really done the advisory because I think we want to talk to the council as far as putting some council on it,
Yeah,
maybe one commissioner, and then probably.
Yeah.
So that'll be our next step. And I have been in contact with Ken about.
Is this the rescue plan money?
yeah.
So we are working on that, but like, again, no one's in a hurry to work on anything. And I'm on the Commissioners Legislative Committee, and so we will be meeting in July and August regarding that. So once I find out anything, I'll bring back to you guys.
And Ethan, Kent was working on a ordinance for trailers, in bringing them into Fountain County, 10 years or newer. And I don't
Like
know.
house trailers?
Yeah. And I think we already got that you can't live in an RV, right, Jenny? I mean,
They can own for hook, if they're hooked up to wire, they have to be hooked up to that.
okay.
But unless you want to put a provision in there that it can't be a permanent, living structure.
Yeah, I don't know on RVs, we have to go that far, but the problem with the trailers are they seem like they're never 10 years old. They're 40 years old and they bring them in and we've just had a lot of that lately. So,
Check and see where he is on that.
yeah.
We need to set up for, with Kent, the executive.
Oh, yeah, and then the other thing, I reached out to Kent about setting up an administrative work sessions. or
Like
something.
Montgomery County has.
But I think he was wanting us to pick a date, and I don't think we was really sure when we wanted to do it.
Like training,
Well, we can,
Like, where we would have work sessions, and if we wanted,
more importantly, we can talk to him on Monday, like Dudley, and see what his thoughts are.
okay.
Because he'll be an important part
Because
of
I
that.
really, talking, I don't know how the other county does it. Do they have someone from the council come so that they can kind of work through some stuff, so that at the actual meetings, it's not 5 hours long?
oh, yeah, yeah.
That's
okay,
kind
yeah.
of what we're getting at, so that, you know, I know there's a 3-minute limit, but it's kind of hard to get everything in from these department heads in 3 minutes. So if there are some things that we do have some questions, I mean, we certainly don't want to keep anything from the public.
Right,
But we do also, I mean, and is that open to the public, our work sessions is going to be a question.
yeah,
But there's some things that you just don't want to take up the time of all the department heads and everybody to discuss, because we may be interacting with one another. So we'll want to work with that and then work with the council so that we're all on the same page, you know, on things. for the county.
I'm sure Montgomery County does that, I see that in Boone County all the time.
Okay. I know, and I
Montgomery,
talked to-
Montgomery does it.
Yeah, I talked to their commissioners and they
Yeah.
love it. It's helped tremendously in so many assets. Okay. That's all I have.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So what is?